Hello, my name is Russell Myers. Welcome to Issues Unite. All right, I'm going to keep this one kind of short this morning. By the way, pardon my damp hair. All right, when our government and our media talks about the European Union, they act as though the European Union is completely all together on certain things, but this is very far from the truth. Um, you know, Now some of this is tied into the Ukraine conflict and the uh, complete cessation the of oil and gas from Russia. But first of all, a number of countries, especially the smaller, more landlocked countries that rely very heavily on oil and gas from Russia, are not happy with this. They are asking for exemptions to this and just do not agree, period. But the European Union has been fracturing for quite some period of time. It's not something that began with the Ukraine conflict, but it is being uh, exacerbated considerably by this. Now, this is really just a summary. You're very welcome to look further into everything I'm about to mention. Turkey, Erdogan, is accusing Finland and Sweden of harboring members, segments of the PKK. The PKK is the Kurdish militia and political group. And, we hear all this stuff about how we need to support the Kurds. The PKK and the YPG largely have rebranded themselves as the Free Syrian Army. But since 1997, the PKK and their subsidiary, the YPG, have been listed on the U.S. Department of State website as an international terrorist group. So actually, in this respect, Turkey has got a point to make. For many years before any of the Syrian conflict began, going back further than 1997, the PKK was committing terrorist acts in Turkey and in Syria, and also in other countries. So they've got a good point to make there. So they are objecting to Sweden and Finland. Turkey is objecting to Sweden and Finland becoming part of NATO as long as they are consciously harboring terrorist groups. There's a good point. Armenia is in conflict with Azerbaijan. And this is over the Nagorno-Karabakh region. And, Armenia and Azerbaijan are in conflict over that. The last time that this happened in 2016, the ones that stepped in and put a stop to it was Russia. And Russia has got a security force in the Nagorno-Karabakh region. So it would be the most logical that the ones that would put a stop to it again would be Russia. But here comes Pelosi going to Armenia. Because every time the U.S. steps in, it really winds up really well, huh? Moldova. All right, and Romania. All right, Romania is becoming really aggressive at this point. They want to absorb Moldova, but, and this has been going on for a long time, many years, probably since the fall of the USSR. But the Romanian ex-foreign minister just said that Romania should seize parts of Ukraine. And so think about that. They said that the lines that were drawn at the fall of the USSR are not valid. And geographically, if you take a look, he's got something of a claim there. But I'm not going to go too far into that. Hungary. Hungary is at conflict with the European Union itself. And Hungary has, because Hungary has declared a state of danger. This state of danger gives Viktor Orban, the prime minister, reading from Human Rights Watch, the state of danger gives Orban sweeping powers to rule by decree, sidestep parliamentary debate, and suspend laws at short notice with very limited to no judicial oversight. And, well, the European Union isn't too fond of that. Poland. Let me remind you that in Poland, they have been, for years now, they have been seeing a rise again in neo-Nazi elements. And there has been some of that in Hungary as well. Remember, the Austro-Hungarian Empire from World War I. But Poland is stating that Germany owes them $1.3 trillion in reparations for World War II for war crimes. Well, Germany has responded that a lot of those war crimes were committed by the Polish. Some of the worst concentration camps were in Poland, and they were operated by the Polish. So they partnered very much with the Nazis. All right, Kosovo is having rising tensions again with Serbia. Serbia does not recognize Kosovo as an independent state. And so tensions are rising there again. All right, so this is all in addition to the UK and Brexit. If you remember, this happened well before the Ukraine conflict, and the UK withdrew from the European Economic Union, but even that is a conflict within the UK because Scotland doesn't really agree with that. That's highly contentious. They want to hold another referendum on this. And honestly, I think the sentiment by Ireland is also, especially with current economic conditions, they're not too fond of Brexit either. Even calling it Brexit, it's British exit. They don't even include Scotland or Ireland in that name. So they've just completely discarded Scotland and Ireland, but that's nothing new. So, anyway, I'm going to keep this this one kind of short. The European Union, when you hear the EU, they're not exactly unified. And as much as they keep on talking about, led by the West, they're against socialism. Well, guess what Germany just did? They nationalized 3 gas companies, and there are rising calls for the nationalization of the energy sector in several European countries. There are also calls to withdraw from NATO, increasing across these countries because they don't want to keep on. The people of these countries don't want to keep sending money and weapons to Ukraine while they're at risk of freezing and their economies are collapsing. So we're going to keep on seeing an increase in that. The European Union is not unified. So when you hear the EU, well, keep these things in mind. Share this video. Talk about these subjects. If you can, please donate whatever you can to help expand this channel and my presidential campaign. And I will catch you in the next one. Have a good day.